It's sometimes hard to find a man that is interested in you and only interested in you for a long time. Why? Why is it hard to find a man who is interested in only one woman as a preference for a year, a decade, or a lifetime? So I thought we'd look at the reasons that predispose, not just men, but women, but predispose someone to want to have more than one partner. And we'll focus on men. So the first and biggest reason is biological. So here's how the biology encourages men to have sex with many women. The biological ancient brains, the impulse towards sex is ancient. It's before human. Monkeys have sex 10 times a day with multiple partners. Right? Many apes or chimpanzees, right? Multiple times a day with who is available. Now, why did life design or reward sex with multiple partners? Well, the main reason we are alive today and that humans are such a big part of life on Earth is travel, sexuality, right, and diversity. The species is more robust. For example, if a man impregnates one woman, while she is giving birth over the next year, she is not available to give birth to a second child, right? So for the maximum expansion of the species, it is in life's interest, it is in the human interest of the species to have a man have maybe 3 or 4 lovers and give birth to, to children all at the same time, with the idea that the more children you have, the more of your offspring survive. Right? So the human continuation of the human biology is increased by having children with multiple partners. Now, a woman cannot have 5 babies at the same time with 5 men. A woman has to pick one. But a man can have 5 babies at the same time with 5 different women. And so it is normal that a woman is more interested in one man that will be loyal. And it is normal, biologically, that a man would be interested in more than one woman. And so that's one part of it, right? It's good for biological life if men have multiple lovers. The second reason is adrenaline, meaning when you have sex that is monotonous and repetitive, it's not as good, it doesn't feel as good as sex with adrenaline. Adrenaline kicks in when something is new. When something is new, there's an element of uncertainty, an element of risk, and then adrenaline is part of the chemistry. If you've had sex with the same person for 10 years in the same way, in the same house, you don't have anything new, so there's no adrenaline. Now, this is one of the reasons why not just men, but people will cheat with a good wife or a good husband to have sex with someone who's not very good. Because in order to bring adrenaline into the sexuality, all you need is somebody new. The first time you have sex with someone, the first time you have sex with someone in this position, the first time you have sex with someone in a certain place, there is an element of unknown, an element of risk, an element of adrenaline. Now, if it is a secret affair, meaning if the sexual activity is a hidden event that risks damaging a good relationship, then the fear and the risk is higher and the adrenaline is higher. So people want to feel good. Men want to feel good. Sex feels better than almost anything else. I happen to like meditation, but, sex, meditation, eating a really good meal, these are some of the most enjoyable experiences in a lifetime. And if you can have sex, very enjoyable, with adrenaline, even more enjoyable, while doing something new, you are creating one of the best experiences that human beings are capable of creating, and you don't have to spend any money. It only takes an hour. You don't need a college degree. It is remarkable that more people are not having more sex with more people more of the time. It is such an easy, fun, enjoyable, healthy activity that is available to everyone. And so it's quite remarkable that people have as little sex as they have, just given how enjoyable it is. Right? So if you have sex with someone who is not a very good partner, maybe they're not very nice, maybe they're not a good father, maybe they're not a good mother, it will still feel better because it's new, because of adrenaline, right? So this is one thing that I think many people do not understand, right? If they're a good husband, if they're a good wife, why did their partner have sex with that other person? Is that other person better than me? Most of the time, not, right? 90% of the time, if you're married to someone, that's the best person that you've been able to find to marry. If you had been able to find somebody better, you would have done so. So it's not about being better. And I think this is also one of the most painful misunderstandings and thoughts around sex with another partner. I bought you all of these things. I've looked after you. I took care of you when you were sick. How is that woman better than me? How is that man better than me? Right? Because it's new. That's it. Because it's different. That's it. And because many long-term relationships lose the element of excitement, of adrenaline, and with that decrease their sexuality, it does not take away from the relationship. Meaning, I've been in relationships where I've had sex with a person once every 2 weeks. So it's not interfering with the relationship to have sex with somebody else every other week as well. Right? It's not blocking the couple. In fact, If you have a boring sex life with someone once every 2 weeks, and you have 2 other lovers, you bring on 2 other lovers, you may start having sex with your partner once a week. Right? Far from taking away from your relationship, it may add an element of newness, excitement, adrenaline. You may get certain things that you need that your partner cannot give you. And suddenly you become more alive, more enthusiastic about life. And sex is part of that. So having sex with someone else can increase your sexuality with a partner. Right? It can go the other way too. So you don't have sex with somebody else because they're better. It's because they're different and they're new. Now, partly because we are driven, there is a drive in human nature to explore curiosity, to explore things that are new, to make things happen that have never happened before. There's also a courting impulse. Meaning if a man wants to be sexual with a woman, he has to do certain things, he has to court her. And this is an enjoyable activity. Now, with his girlfriend, with his wife, he's already completed the courting. So that activity is not available. But what if he enjoys courting, but he's already courted? Well, the only solution is to court somebody else. So if you enjoy courting, right, you enjoy pleasing someone, learning about them, the imagining possibilities, kissing for the first time. If you enjoy courting, right, then courting different people at different times, either ending the relationship and finding a new person, or having different people that you court at the same time, brings more pleasure. So these are some of the biggest reasons why a man may want to have more than one girlfriend, more than one lover. But there are other reasons. Every woman is strong in some areas and weak in other areas. One woman may have a beautiful body, and she may be dumb and not very good at having conversation. Another person may be amazing at having a conversation, but she's old in the sense that she doesn't want to go out and do different activities. She wants to stay in the house all the time, right? Another person may want to go out traveling, but is very poor, right? And someone who's hardworking is busy, right? So different people have different strengths, right? So you may say, wow, you're such a hardworking and successful woman, but you only have 3 hours a week that you are available to spend time with me. Or you might say to someone else, right, you've got all this wonderful time. It's wonderful, but you have no money, no skill, no ambition. It gets a little boring, and I have to pay for everything for you. Someone else may be very good at listening to feelings, right, but isn't very interested in sex. So you feel good, you have good conversations, but you don't have sex together, right? Someone else may want to help you with your project, but isn't romantic, right? And so what you find is if you have 5 lovers, maybe one is a very good listener, one is a very good sexual lover, one is a very good cook and good activity partner, one likes to go traveling, and one likes to make jokes. And so you can make lots of jokes with that person, but you can't go traveling. They're busy or they don't want to travel, right? You can have lots of wonderful sex with this person, but they don't want to travel, or they don't want to do this or that, right? And so the more people are in your life, the more likely it is that one of them will be strong in all of the areas that interest you. Right? For example, I'm a writer. Many women do not want to read a book. Right? And the women that really want to discuss my books with me, right, they may be a bad lover. Or they may not have time to travel. Right? So another reason that a man may want more than one lover is because they have different parts of themselves that feel lonely. What if you're in a marriage with a woman who has no interest in reading the books that you write? The writing part of you is going to feel lonely. What if you like hiking, going out on walks in nature, and the woman you're with hates to go out and walk with you? Then the part of you that wants to share that with a lover is going to feel lonely. What if you're a great cook, but the woman you're with just likes hamburgers from McDonald's and doesn't want to eat your food? Then the great cook in you is going to feel lonely. Right? What if you like to discuss ideas and the woman you're with doesn't want to talk? Then the part of you that wants to discuss great ideas is going to be lonely. But what if the person that wants to discuss great ideas doesn't want to go on a walk, and the person that wants to go on a walk doesn't want to discuss great ideas? Well, if you have two relationships, then one day you go for a walk, and the other day you express great ideas. One day you cook a great meal, and 1 week you go traveling. 1 week you lay together and discuss your book. Right? So the more people that are in your life, the easier it is to find someone that likes doing all the things that you want to do. What if you want to dance and your partner says, I'm shy, I don't want to dance, and I'm not going to learn? Well, do you just give up dancing for your whole life? Or do you find another lover who likes to dance but doesn't have the strengths of your other partner? Right? And so, mathematically speaking, the more partners you have, the more possible, the easier it is to find someone who's interested in everything that you're interested in. There are other reasons to have more than one lover as well. Psychologically speaking, a man feels accepted and wanted by a woman who has sex with him. If a woman wants to have sex with a man, that man feels more desirable, more handsome, more valuable, more important. And men like to feel handsome, valuable, and important. And so by saying yes to having sex, there are more than one women who are speaking of value and importance. Now, when this is done honestly, meaning when the man is open about having more than one lover, this can be sustainable. When it's done by lies and cheating, then usually the lies blow up at some point, and then the women kick the guy out, and then the man feels unimportant. So you feel even worse, right? But if you are honest with your partner, I'd like to have more than one lover, and I respect if you don't want to be my lover, but if you do, I would appreciate and value the relationship. I can spend this amount of time with you and this amount of time with somebody else. Well, then a man can feel more valued, more important, more, and also more pleasure, right? Because everyone is a lover in a different way. Now, another reason a man may want to have more than one lover is logistics. What I mean by that is if a man meets you and you're working 6 days a week, you work 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And so you only have one day off. And then half of your day off, you have to do laundry and other things. Well, what if the man has 7 days and you have half of one day? Well, they're going to be bored or lonely waiting for you. And so one reason to have more than one lover is if this one has a day off on Monday, and if this one has a day off on Wednesday, and if this one has a day off on Friday, and this one has a day off on Sunday, well, now you're spending 4 days a week doing things you like with a partner. Whereas if you have only one partner who has half of a day off once a week, the rest of the week you are waiting around. You're feeling bored. You're feeling unimportant, right? And so this is a normal response to feel, I want some attention right now. I want to connect with someone who has time for me right now. Another reason that a man may prefer to have multiple or ongoing ever-changing relationships is the fact that many women treat a man very well at the beginning and okay after a while and then not so well. What I mean by that is if you take someone on a date and they show up and they dress very nice and they're interested in what you have to say and make a lot of attention for you, right? But then you spend a year together and they don't dress very nice. Maybe they put on some weight. They don't pay a lot of attention to you, and you feel bored or unimportant. But if you court somebody else, they give you a lot of attention. And so if the new person gives you more attention, more love, more value than the old person, there is a reason, a motivation to find a new person. Because we say, it felt so good when you first gave me all that attention, but now you're not giving me attention. I want to have that feeling again. So let me go and find that with somebody else. So these are the reasons that men lie, cheat, or have open relationships, right? Because you can have many lovers and be honest about it, or you can have many lovers and you can lie about it, right? But this is the reason why men have more than one lover much of the time. Some of it is ancient biology, some of it is pleasure, some of it is logistics, some of it feels good, all of it feels good. Another reason can be that if a man is insecure, what if she leaves me? What if she stops liking me in the future? Well, if you have 2 or 3 lovers, and one of them stops liking you, well, you still have 1 or 2 more. You have a safety net, right? A backup plan. So that's another reason, so that I don't feel so frightened of losing love in my life. I have another one over here who would like to spend time with me. So it doesn't hurt me so much when you reject me, when you leave me for somebody else, or just reject me for no particular reason, right? Another reason to have another lover is in dynamics in a fight, right? Many women manipulate men around sex. If the man buys them something they want, they have sex. But if the man doesn't buy them something, or doesn't do something they want, then they block the sex. And this creates a helpless feeling in a man, right? But if a man has 2 or 3 different lovers, and this lover says, I'm not going to have sex with you until you paint the house, you say, okay, I will go and have sex with this person over here. They don't need me to paint the house. They're not bargaining. They just want to spend time with me. And so it helps the first lover to stop being so manipulative because you have other choices available, right? And it's not fun to be manipulated by a woman around sex. It's not fun to wait for a woman who says, no, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, right? Okay, you're too busy, I will have sex with somebody else, right? And so this is this is a normal part of business, right? Usually, if there's only one store, they don't treat their customers very well because the customer cannot go anywhere else. But if there are 2 stores, if this store doesn't treat its customers well, then they go over to this store. And if this store doesn't treat their customers well, they go over to this store. And so when you have competition, you get better behavior, right? And as soon as you commit to one for the rest of your life, often the behavior goes down. Many men treat women worse after they have sex for the first time. Many women treat men worse after they are married, right? So the answer is, I don't want to get married, right? I want to keep my options open, and I will spend time with the women who treat me well today. You don't treat me well today, so I'll spend time with this other person. So it's a power dynamic that's part of any business, right? If there is only one customer and 10 hotels, the hotels will lower their prices and give a better deal. They'll take good care of the customer so that he'll come back, right? If there are 100 customers and only 10 hotels or only 10 rooms, then the hotel doesn't treat the customer as well, right? It's a supply and demand dynamic. And so having more than one lover, you can notice, this person is not appreciating me very much. I will go spend time over here. So that's another part of the equation. So the same is true for women in all of these areas, except the fact that there are 2 differences with women, because all of these things apply to women as well. But the first one is that if a woman has a child, she has a deeply emotional connection with that child and must raise that child and take care of that child. For 17 years, many men run away. So that's a difference. The other is cultural. Many cultures shame women for having lots of sex with different men. But they understand and accept men having lots of sex with different women. And so it is easier for a man to have several girlfriends in most cultures than it is to have a girlfriend have many boyfriends. It's, in the United States, in some countries, for example, in San Francisco, 30% of the women have multiple boyfriends. 30% of the men have multiple boyfriends in an open relationship. Everyone agrees that it will be an open relationship. And so, a woman might have 3 boyfriends and a man might have 3 girlfriends, and they agree and they connect. It's honest. And so it's culturally acceptable. But in many parts of the world, it's okay if the man has a lot of sex, but it's not okay for the woman. So these are two differences between men and women. But many men and many women will be attracted to more than their partner. They'll look around and say, oh, what a beautiful woman, or what a handsome man over there, or what a successful man over there, or what a powerful man over there. And women are attracted, whether it's not just to their husband, not just to their boyfriend, they're attracted to appearance, to money, to power, to skill, being skillful, to kindness, to generosity. So if another man comes in who is more handsome, more kind, more generous, more competent, more powerful than their husband, they will feel attraction to that man. Now, they may not act on the attraction, and many men will not act on the attraction they have towards a woman, but the attraction will be there. It's normal. It's practical. It's healthy, right? The question is what to do with all of this. But the first thing to do is understand it. And then the next thing is to understand that if you want a partner to love you and be loyal, your job is to be a better partner for that man than anyone else. If you don't want to be a good partner for them, and some other woman does, then it's right that that man goes to that woman. The same is true for you, right? You can be bound in a promise of I'll never leave you no matter how crappy you are, no matter how poor we get, no matter how much you drink, no matter how much you gamble away the money. But that's a loser's game. It's good to leave a man who's drinking, gambling, and abusing you. That's good, right? It's not for better and for worse. We will suffer through, you can beat my kids. No. If you see a more handsome, a wealthier, a more powerful, a smarter, a kinder, a more generous man who is interested in you, and your husband is abusing you, lying to you, beating you, gambling away the money, hitting your children, leave him and go to a better man, right? Don't stick with the delusion that God wants your children to be beaten just because you made a mistake or your boyfriend wasn't an addict back then, right? You have to take care of your children. You have to take care of your happiness. And how is an addict going to learn if people let them continue to abuse you and the children, right? So that's perfectly normal and it's healthy, right? So if you understand these reasons and you care about someone and you want them to be happy, right? You will not judge someone for being a human animal. A human animal is trying to procreate with healthy people, right? A man will also be sexually, physically attracted to younger women because they create healthier babies, right? If a 50-year-old man has sex with a 50-year-old woman, there's no baby. If a 50-year-old man has sex with a 40-year-old woman, there may be a baby and the baby may be sick. If a 50-year-old man has sex with a 30-year-old woman, there will be a baby and it will probably be healthy. If a 50-year-old man has sex with an 18-year-old woman, the baby is going to be incredibly healthy, and that's good for life, right? And so there's a reason that men are sexually drawn to younger women because younger women produce healthier children. And there's a reason that younger women are drawn to intelligent and wealthier and competent men because those men can take better care of a child, right? So these things are instinctive, they're natural, they're part of life. And that is why the human species has 7 billion people, when 99% of all the species that have ever existed on Earth are extinct. The urge to procreate, to create more humans, motivated largely by sex, is what has played an enormous role in human beings being alive today. So I hope these gives you some perspective of the science and biology and psychology of love with more than one person, sex with more than one person. Thanks for watching.